I'm here in Schiphol in Amsterdam, and today I'm flying British Airways economy class back to Heathrow. I'm flying from the non-schengen departures area, which is where all the UK flights depart from at Schiphol Airport, and I'm going to be using the Priority Pass lounge that I have access to through my American Express Platinum card. The lounge in the non-schengen area is the Apsire Lounge 41, so let's go check it out and see how it compares to other lounges around the world. Now, Schiphol Airport has been on my list for a long time, not least to go see the amazing art installation. The Apsire Lounge that you can access from the non-Schengen area is pretty well signposted. It's right next to the One World Lounge as well, so really easy to find. This lounge is basically one long room, which is not the most creative layout, but it does have some nice modern touches to it. One thing that I did find strange was this little side cubby hole that they seemed to think it was some sort of botanical room. I don't know why they called it that. It's a dingy little room on the side of the main lounge. Now let's talk about the food. The food looked amazing once it was actually topped up, but unfortunately this was towards the end of my 2-hour lounge stay. For the majority of it, it looked like this. There was supposed to be some sort of curry and rice, but they either had the curry there or the rice. They didn't have both until the very end, and it just took them a very long time to sort this situation out. And by the time it did eventually come out, I had already eaten other stuff, so I didn't really want it anymore. This was the soup, and they did also have breadsticks and bread rolls, but again, the bread rolls for the most part were not topped up, and this was towards the end. So as I didn't have the hot food ready for the most part, I mainly just had the salads, and I have to say this potato salad was a real highlight. It really did taste quite amazing. If you're more of a sweet tooth, they did have these brownies and muffins, which were both very, very nice, especially nice to have with a coffee. We also had these crisps, which were very nice, and a very small selection of fruit, if that's what you want to go for. In terms of drinks, we had these spirits, and there's no premium spirits here. That port was worth £5 a bottle. We then had a soft drinks dispenser and a selection of red and white wines. The only downside there was that the red wine was chilled and there was no sparkling wine option. The pour yourself Heineken was fun. They did also have alcohol free. I did try pouring myself a pint, but I made a right mess of it, and then a guy showed me how to do it properly.
Oh man, that is... Did you work in a pub? We spent uni.
So after the catastrophe with the beer, I poured myself a nice large glass of wine, and I went over to enjoy possibly the best thing about this lounge, and that is the view of the tarmac. I literally sat here for well over an hour just drinking wine and watching the planes. I had a great time. It was then time to head over to the gate. British Airways were departing from D22, which was about 12 minutes away. But be aware, the EasyJet flights depart from a gate that is even further, so make sure you do allow enough time for that. So this lounge was not too bad. I had a great time watching the aircraft, just having a glass of wine. The food was nice. That potato salad really made up for the lack of hot food, although it would have been nice to have the curry and the rice sorted out a little bit earlier. But apart from that, it was a good lounge. It was a nice space to relax for a couple of hours, and definitely not the worst lounge that I've been to so far. Have you been to this lounge, and how was it when you went? Perhaps you've been to the One World Lounge. How does it compare to that? Let me know in the comments below.